Come in, come in. So we are finally doing it, a full tour of the craft room. Honestly, anytime that I share pictures or videos of the craft room, you guys are so kind about the space. So I really wanted to give you a really in-depth tour. I'll show you everything. And also, most of what I've done here is all IKEA. So hopefully there'll be something here that will inspire you and that you can maybe recreate in your own spaces. This space does actually have a bathroom and a kitchen. But I know you all want to really see the centerpiece of the craft room, which is this craft room island and the cupboards behind me. So we're gonna start there. This is a view you're probably not used to seeing. I'm here at the table at the craft room island, and this is where I would normally sit when I'm filming for YouTube. But obviously what you can see is all the equipment that I use to make that magic happen. I set up an overhead camera because obviously showing you the Cricut machine, it's nice to show you the overhead shot. I've got mic, I've got my lighting, and actually my main camera is what I'm filming on right now. I know some of you actually might have more questions about the stuff that I use to film. Don't worry, I'll just link everything that I use in the description if that's interesting to you. Right, come on guys, I'm down here. I want to show you the craft room island. As I mentioned, this is from IKEA. I really loved the combination of grey and white, so I went for the grey in the island. And you can see what I've gone for is loads of drawers because, you know, I just wanted to have loads of space to store all the different things we need for crafting. For example, in here, I went for some nice tall drawers for vinyls. My Joy stuff is up here, my bigger vinyls are down here. And one really cool thing you have to see about this island is over here. So obviously, when I'm crafting, I use my Cricut machine a lot, so I need a power source. So my unbelievably just amazing dad came up with a really cool solution. Come here, let me show you. What he's done is he's plugged in a power source underneath the island. So we've got all of my plugs are actually inside the drawer, and then he's put a little hole in the island, and that way I can connect to my Cricut machine when I'm crafting. Isn't it so cool? And I've used the IKEA drawer inserts to keep everything really lovely and organized. This is where I store all of my cardstocks that are A4 or smaller. Again, I've organized them by color, and also here I've got things like felt, got my glitter cardstocks, and I've also got sticker paper here. Below I've got a rail, and here I'm storing all of my really large pieces of cardstock. These are 12 by 24 inches. I mean, I could have put them in a drawer, but I actually really like having them on display like this, and the hangers are really a fab way of storing them. They're strong enough to hold them, so I just love this. With this fitted PAX IKEA unit, what I decided was to leave the top half all open, exposed shelves, and then down below I've got drawers. I had initially planned on actually having cupboard doors on everything. This is where I plan to put all of the cupboards. I'm going to use the pack system from IKEA, but I realized, one, it's actually just so much nicer to be able to see everything that I have, and also just with the space, having a drawer would have kind of got in the way with the craft room island. So you can see all of my amazing Cricut machines. I've been lucky enough to work with Cricut in a number of different ways. You might have seen me on the Cricut Learn website. So I've received some of these machines through my work with them. I actually got to a point though where somehow, even though there is so much space here, I didn't have enough for the Cricut machine. So we added an extra glass shelf in this unit here to allow me to stack the Cricut machines. Another cool storage solution I found at IKEA were these really pretty baskets. They're so simple, but because of that, I think they're really beautiful. And I store my flowers in here. You might know that I'm also a Cricut teacher. So in these drawers here, I keep my supplies for those workshops, my scripts and sample projects that we do in that workshop. And then that's kind of the stuff that I've got in these drawers is previous projects that I've made, craft blanks. You can never have enough craft blanks, as you might know. And you'll see in all my drawers that I try and make use of these dividers from IKEA to keep everything organized. I bought these pots for an enchanted wood themed party for my daughter. I love them. Yes, so this was from a workshop that I taught 1 year with Hobbycraft. I was doing workshops to make a wreath for Eid. Let me show you. So this is what we were making in that workshop. So I've still got some supplies left over, so maybe I'll try and reuse them in a different way. You'll notice the top drawers I've kept as the kind of tray drawers, so I could keep kind of slimmer things here. So I've got my paper cutters, and I also borrowed this from my mum's kitchen. It's like a heat-proof tray. I use that with my Easy Press mat when I'm using my Easy Press for heat projects. And then here I've got all of my embossing powders. So this is the insert, again from IKEA. You'll see, as I said, there's loads of IKEA here. This is the jewelry insert, and I'm using it to organize all of my embossing powders. So these are my heat guns and my various stamps. You crafters know that we always have a lot of supplies. So again, I'm making use of these bins from IKEA to keep things organized. This is all things adhesive. So I've got this iron here because I first tried to do iron-on projects with this travel iron, which was obviously a disaster. So I've got that left here. I've got some spray adhesives, these foam squares, and a whole bunch of tapes. And then below, I've got more supplies, stationery, some paints. Paint's not really my medium, but I wanted to give it a try. And I don't know about you, but I am definitely a hoarder. So at least this way, all the things that I don't want to throw away, I can keep and they still look neat. These are all of my blanks for projects. These are, Cricut blanks. I can do iron-on infusible ink projects with them. Loads of spare supplies for when I'm crafting up in here. And here are all of the scrapbooking supplies that I have. So I read this book by Austin Kleon called Keep Going, and in it I first heard about the concept of a Bliss Station. And it's just meant to be a special place or a special time in your day where you just keep it for yourself to just sit and think and see what you might dream up. So this part here of the craft room is what I call my Bliss Station. It's just a really lovely cozy chair. I can sit here and just think about the next projects that I want to work on, and it's a really nice way for me to get some inspiration. Let me show you where the craft surgery happens. So again, I've used the IKEA jewelry inserts to organize all of my Cricut blades, my scraper tools, my weeding tools and scissors. And honestly, every time I come here to take a tool out, I just feel like I'm just an actual craft surgeon. In this middle section of the craft wall, I've kept it all to these tray drawers, and I've used those same inserts to store all of my vinyls. So these are all my adhesive vinyls. These are actually perfect. You can see the rolls slot in so nicely. More adhesive vinyls. This is a really lovely solution for storing vinyls. This here is one of the newer additions to the craft room. You might have seen I recently posted a video doing a review of the Canon Pixma Crafters printer, and I'm really thrilled that I have it in the craft room now. So I keep it here on the shelves, and I've got my Cricut Maker 3 just above, and my Easy Presses are here as well. In the drawers, I'm keeping just more supplies of my Cricut vinyls. Another really cool storage solution that I came up with here was for all of my Cricut mats. I was finding it kind of impossible to find the one that I needed in a drawer. So instead I went out and I bought these wooden hangers, and they're really good. They're holding, like on here I've got like 4 different mats being held. So they're lovely and strong. And the other good thing is that if you look inside, they've got this felt lining, so you're not going to scratch up your mat either. So I thought that was quite a cool little solution for hanging my mats. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the craft room. I'd love to know in the comments, let me know what was your favorite part. How do you guys organize things in your craft rooms? And before you go, you might want to check out this playlist of my most popular Cricut tutorials. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Until then, happy crafting.